Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. So this is Vlogmas day 2, and today's going to be a little bit of an interesting video. So I'm going to explain my experience in the military and anything that a female needs to bring, and just give them the realism and the rundown of what is it like being in the military, specifically the Air Force, since that is the branch that I was in. Give them the realism of what it was really like being in the boot camp, and then might do what it was like to be in security forces tech school as a female, but we'll see how long this video is, and then I might do a separate video for that. So let's get started. So first off, I want to say excuse my hair. I just kind of threw it up this morning, and in my last video you guys will see that I filmed that at 5:30 in the morning, which was this morning, and I woke up around like 4:45, so I just threw up my hair, didn't even care, and just left. So to get into it, I'm going to explain the female perspective and what females should bring to boot camp. And this is Air Force. I'm not really sure how other branches are. I do know a decent amount about other branches, boot camps and everything, but this one's going to be specifically Air Force. So what you should bring to Air Force boot camp is honestly the bare minimum. I would bring, at least what I brought was just underwear, sports bras, and spandex. Honestly, because I honestly experienced so much chafing, I am so happy that I brought spandex. Honestly, spandex changed my life, honestly, and I'm pretty sure every girl in my flight, that's what we are called in the Air Force, as a flight, and in the Army it's a company, and etc. So in my flight, I'm pretty sure every girl wore spandex. Honestly, it'll save your life. I brought long ones because the shorter ones just rode up and it just was horrible. So bring spandex. I believe I brought like 3 or 4. You have to keep it white, gray, or black. You cannot have any like hot pink, any purple or stuff like that. You have to keep it to the basic colors. Sports bras as well. I believe I brought like 5 or 6 of them, and underwear, I believe I brought 5 or 6 as well. The only reason I brought that much is because when you first get there, you do buy, essentials. You can buy extra underwear, extra sports bras, shampoo, conditioner, and stuff like that. So honestly, wouldn't even worry about that. Bringing, oh, like maybe I should bring 2 pair, or like 2 weeks worth of it. Honestly, bring it just for the first week, and then you're going to buy more stuff once you get there. So I brought 6 things of each, except spandex was only like 3 or 4. I did end up buying, I think, like 1 or 2 more there, but you do laundry either every couple, I'm pretty sure every couple days, if not it's at least like once a week, but since there are so many girls, we need to do it every couple days. So I brought that, and I brought like travel size shampoos, and I brought my own razor because I'm like really iffy about razors. I like have to have a 5-blade. Other than that, I feel like I just tend to cut myself so much more. So I brought travel size stuff. I brought my wallet. I would definitely bring cash with you, because you can't check your bank statements. You're not gonna have like your phone on you or anything. You only get 3 phone calls. The first one is scripted, so you're gonna read specifically from a piece of paper. You can't say anything outside of that, and it's just pretty much like, as long as they answer, you could say, hey, blah, 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 and they can say whatever they have to say, but then you have to hang up. There is nothing outside of that you can say. So it's not like you could check what's in your bank, you can't check any social media or anything like that when you get that phone call. But the reason I said bring cash is because you get this thing called like a patio break, and this patio break is you could buy things from a vending machine. You get to sit out in this little like picnic area type thing, and which is the patio, and you do have a vending machine where you could buy snacks and stuff. Obviously, it's only cash. So my stepdad, who is actually in the military, decided to bring or give me 50 ones. That was insane, because you'll understand the first week when you get there, you're gonna have a money list, and a money list is you're gonna have to write down each dollar bill, each $5 bill, $10, 20, etc., and you have to write down the serial number. So since I had 50 ones, I had to write down each and every serial number on each and every dollar bill. Horrible. So that was just an experience. My MTI, which is military training instructor, we had 2 males, no females, so 2 males for a female flight, and they were just laughing at me the whole time that I had to do it. So were the other girls around me, because it was pretty funny but very irritating. So I believe, honestly, overall, we had a really easy experience, only because of the fact that, one, it was the MTI's first female flight. They never had a female flight before, so I think they just kind of like had to get a feel and everything, and they weren't too harsh on us. And I don't think they wanted to be too harsh on us, maybe because of the way that we would act. So that's why we had it pretty easy. We were never like punished for anything that we did. If we did struggle a lot, so, and we were never punished for that. And I really think that if we were punished and we were pushed a little more, we would have been like probably the top flight out of I'm pretty sure we had 18 flights graduate with us. So the next thing is, I brought rubber bands. You have to have it the color of your hair. So, if your hair is brown or black, you have to bring black or brown. And then if your hair is blonde, you have to have blonde. So speaking of hair, if you do dye your hair, I was practically a platinum blonde. You have to make sure that you dye it, like I'm talking like 1 to 2 days before you even leave to go to MEPS to get to boot camp, because once your roots show, that is out of regulations, and you're going to need to dye your hair. Luckily, I was able, like, you are able to go to the hair salon. If you're a girl and your hair's out of regs, you are able to go to the hair salon and get your hair done. So I re-dyed my hair when I was there, right before graduation. So I pretty much like didn't dye the whole 8 weeks except the last week for graduation, and for when you get your and for like airman's run, and for the airman's coin and everything. So so you get to do your hair when you're there. So those are the essentials that I really mainly brought. I didn't bring anything. I did bring a phone charger and obviously my phone, because when you get your phone back, I mean, as long as it's 100%, once you get there and like you immediately shut it off, then your phone's not gonna die obviously when it's shut off. But I brought it just in case. We all plugged in our phones when we were there, just in case. Now, those are the things that I brought. Now, moving to what you expect from 0 to 8 weeks. So 0 week, we also like to call them sneaker weekers, because once you get your uniforms, the 3rd or 4th day, I can't remember which day, once you get your uniforms, you're not wearing your boots, you are wearing your sneakers, because if you go straight from sneakers to boots, you are really gonna have a lot of pain. Honestly, I had pain no matter what. Like, I woke up in the middle of the night and I like really couldn't even like turn my foot in. I had to like walk on the side of my foot because it just hurt so bad from walking in boots for miles and miles a day. And I had the disadvantage of being there during the summer, so of course I was just sweating in my uniform, and it was just horrible. So when you do get your boots, what you do is you're in sneakers for half the day and then boots for half the day, just so you can break them in. You kind of like get your feet used to, walking in boots and everything. That's why we call them sneaker weekers. So week 1, I'm pretty sure like it was 0 week to week 2 is honestly just a bunch of like getting all of your stuff, getting all your uniforms, getting and just any more essentials like shampoo, deodorant. I did bring deodorant too, and you have to make sure that you bring your toothbrush, toothpaste, and stuff like that, because they're not going to supply that to you. You'll have to get that on your own when you go make a BX run. A BX is just pretty much like a little convenience store. So when you make that run, that's when you can get it, but make sure you bring all of that stuff. I didn't really seem that it was necessary to explain that, because I mean, when you go anywhere, even just to a sleepover to a friend's house, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory to bring, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, and hairbrush too. So you are supplied like nail clippers and stuff like that, because you have to make sure your nails are clipped. It has to be a certain length and everything. So you are supplied that once you get there. By the way, once you get there, like the very first day that you get there, like it is going to seem extremely stressful because like you're pushed off the bus and you're pushed into the building, kind of like the welcome center almost, and pretty sure it's called the welcome center, pretty sure. Anyway, so once you're pushed into the welcome center, like you're sat down. We were there for hours. Like we got there, I'm pretty sure around like 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and we did not get to go to sleep until 4 in the morning. Like you were going to be up for a while, and we were already at MEPS until 4 in the morning, so we were practically up for a full 24 hours. You could not fall asleep. Like you're gonna get in trouble if you fall asleep at any point in time, because like once you get to the welcome center, you're gonna be sitting down for a while until they put you in your flights. You're not gonna know ahead of time. Once you get there, you're just gonna sit down and then like separate into males and females, and then you'll be put into your flight. After you're put into your flight, you're gonna walk into this room where you are going to get a backpack. You are going to get this reflective Velcro name tag, which is like you'll write your name, you write your last name on it. Everything's gonna be your last name. No one's like really ever gonna call you by your first name. So after that, you're gonna get your Apex, which is just pretty much like a little raincoat and like anything for when it's like cold out and stuff like that. So you get that. You get a notebook. You get your pretty much like your airman's manual type thing, which is just like this really thick book where all of your notes are going to be taken out of. When you go to classroom, that's always going to be in that book. You get a little notebook, and you get, you know, like pens, highlighters. You do get a reflective belt. In the morning, so it's going to be pretty dark in the morning once you get up, especially for PT, you have to wear your reflective belt. Eventually that's just going to be for the 0 week, and then week 1, after you do your PT test and everything, you get a certain color belt. I'm pretty sure it's red, green, and blue. Blue are the fastest people after up, I think. Once they hit 10.5, once they break 10.5 minutes, then you get your blue belt. Anything over 10 minutes, I think it's like 10.5 minutes to, I want to say like 14 minutes, you get a green belt. Anything above 14 minutes, you get a red belt. So it, like, just so you're not like in the fast lane with slow people, or like in the slow lane with like fast people, etc. So you do get a reflective belt, and you get a flashlight as well, because you will have your flashlight in the morning as well. You're not gonna have like your backpack or anything for PT. You're just gonna have your reflective belt, your flashlight, and you're pretty much gonna have to put that in your pocket. Just the flashlight in your pocket when you're running. You only do a 26-minute run on your run days, and then on your circuit days, you're gonna do just like a bunch of circuits, push-ups, burpees. So 0 to 1 week is just, like I said, just getting a bunch of your stuff together, and you know, it's still like pretty much getting settled. Personally, I wasn't really affected or anything, you know, like giving that first call home, you know, it didn't really seem to faze me or anything. And especially like I didn't really think about it too much, just because we were always up and doing anything. Like the only really time that you had time to think about it is once you go to bed at 9 o'clock, because that's when you have to go shut off all the lights, and that's when you have to go to bed, and then you're woken up at 5:45 in the morning. So that's pretty much like the only time that you really have to think, is like right before you go to bed. But personally, I wasn't really fazed by anything, and like till the end, when I was getting anxious, and I was just tired of being there, and when I was just like ready to see my family, I was just like, I'm so tired of this. Like, and it wasn't even the fact of me being homesick. It was just the fact that I was just tired of being there. Hated Texas. I'm from New Jersey. We have 4 seasons in one day, where it's just like cold as hell in the morning. It gets a little warmer, super hot, and then cold again at night. So being in Texas was just horrible. It was just blazing hot from the morning to the to night. And the good thing was that like we were able to write letters and everything to our family, and we were able to receive letters. So I did get a lot of letters. I still have them saved, and my eye is twitching. That's really annoying. So I have all my letters saved, and it was great just like hearing your name called out and have that letter from your family. 0 to 2 weeks, super easy, just getting your stuff together. Now the third week is when you get your very first phone call where you get to talk for, I think it was 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes. You get two 15-minute phone calls. So my very first 15-minute phone call, that one didn't really faze me as well. It was really nice. Just I called my grandmom first, and then I called my mom, and it was just really nice hearing everyone's voice, see how everyone was doing, making sure everything was okay over there, and making sure I was okay. So it was really nice to hear that. But it didn't faze me. I didn't cry or anything. I think I only cried like twice just because I was so not stressed out about what was going on. I was just so over it. It did honestly change me a lot at the end, and it, like, even my family said that, like, I'm not really the way I used to be right before I left. But anyway, it didn't faze me too much. But the last phone call that just like kind of where it really hit me, I'm pretty sure that was our 7th week, sixth or 7th week. Pretty sure it was a 7th week phone call, and like you got to see your family the next week, so you were all hype and like you're just like all emotional because like you're ready to see him and everything. I was kind of holding back tears like at the very end when I was saying goodbye, even though I was gonna see him next, the following week. So, during like 3 to 4 weeks is when, well, the 4th week is when you do seatbirth, and that's when you go through the gas chamber. That was fantastic. Honestly, I expected it to be better, but it wasn't. It was horrible, worse than I thought. Especially because I was second to last, so you're like trying to push everyone out the door, but you can't push. If you push anyone, you have to go back through again. But it did make me realize and trust our equipment so much, because like once you went in there, you couldn't smell a damn thing. It was just great. Like you're still just breathing oxygen, like you were perfectly fine. But once you flicked those straps to make it loose, it just started coming underneath, and that's when you really had trouble breathing. Once you take the masks off, I honestly just like try to like take in a huge breath and hold your breath, but if they see you breathing, you will get in trouble and have to do it again. But once you take your mask off, you have to say your reporting statement. A reporting statement is pretty much just saying, Trainee Egbert reports as ordered, which is what you have to say anytime before you say what you have to say to an MTI. So if you go up to an MTI, you stand in a position of attention, you're pretty much just saying, me was Trainee Egbert reports as ordered. That was my old last name. As you guys see, I changed my last name. So that was my old last name in the military last year. And we have to say that in the gas chamber. Once you take your masks off, you hold it to your chest and say that. So either way, you can't hold your breath for the whole time. And then after that, you're going to just pretty much wait, I'm pretty sure, like 10 seconds, and then you run out. But before you take your masks off, you're pretty much just doing like you're just doing like jumping jacks. So the only reason that they do that, yet again, is to make you trust your equipment. And that just really made me trust my equipment, because I honestly was just breathing perfectly normal until that hit me. You're gonna have like snot and tears all down your face just from not being able to breathe. Some people do throw up. I thought I was going to, but honestly, once you run out that door, you go to this little pad and you're just walking around in circles. It takes less than a minute for you to get back and breathe, like again, like perfectly normal. You won't feel that burning sensation anymore. Like I said, it takes a max of 1 minute. It's not like for 10 minutes, like you're still huffing and puffing. Like, trust me, it's a minute and like you're fine. So, after that's the 4th week. The 3rd week is kind of like in between. Like you're still kind of getting settled in, but you're also just doing classrooms. The entire time from 0 to 8 weeks, you are doing just like a bunch of classroom time. Because you have to take a test at the end, and you have to get a 80% or higher in order to pass, in order to graduate. So a lot was just classroom time, getting your uniforms, getting any little essentials that you need out of the way. Now, once you hit week 5, it was Beast Week. Beast Week is just pretty much a deployment-like scenario where you're sleeping in tents, you're sleeping on a cot. We had mosquito nets over us only because down in Texas, There were apparently mosquito bites where one girl unfortunately passed away because of mosquito bites. So you have a net over you when you're sleeping in a sleeping bag, and you're just in a tent. Luckily, we were air conditioned, because Air Force is a chair force and we have the best of everything. So it was air conditioned. It was awesome. The really fun thing is that you get to go through obstacles. I thought that was really fun. They're kind of hard, and you're gonna have lots of sand in you, like in your uniform and your boots and everything. It's gonna be super uncomfortable, but honestly, I thought it was really fun. And the suckish part was you have to eat MREs, ready to eat meals, and honestly, they just make you so constipated. It is absolutely disgusting, and I am very picky with what I eat, so unfortunately, I didn't get to eat all of my MREs just because I didn't like what was in there. And when you're in Beast Week, like you're literally just you go down in this little tunnel, and I was MRE monitor, and I was the first aid monitor as well. MRE monitor pretty much means that I was able to pick out my MRE while everyone else was just like, you literally, like, they're running down, and me and 3 other people are just handing them MREs no matter what it is, unless they have certain spots, like if you're a vegetarian or if you eat kosher, then it's like that. Then they get to pick from the bin in whatever line that it is. So that was pretty cool that I got to pick my meals, so I was pretty happy, but still some of the time I couldn't find it in time before people started running down, so I unfortunately just didn't get to eat most of my meals. But the very last meal was your dinner that you got to eat in a cafeteria, the chow hall, which is pretty much what you eat 0 to 8 weeks just in your dorm. But this one was just this huge chow hall. It had the best food ever, best than like the chow hall that we had in boot camp. So it was just great, and the chicken was amazing, and I'm super picky when it comes to chicken, but it was just amazing, and it was just the best food. So like that was just like kind of getting me through my days, was just the chicken and that food in general. So like I said, you go through a bunch of obstacles, like with a bunch of sand and stuff like that. You always carry your gun. It's fake, but it's like heavy as in a real gun, and you eventually get to go shooting, and with a real gun, obviously, and that's where you get to earn your marksmanship. I was 1 away from getting marksmanship, and I'm still forever so mad about that, and I was like a centimeter away from getting marksmanship too. I was so mad about that, but it is what it is. But that was really fun, and after that you had to jog your way back. So pretty much you're jogging there, you have your belt on you with 2 canteens, and you have to mark down how much water you are drinking, just so they can see, just in case if you're not drinking enough water and you pass out, they'll see why, and it's your fault. So but if you did drink enough and you pass out, then that's something different. And then they'll go take you to UCC, which is pretty much the urgent care that they have on base. So you're pretty much jogging probably a mile there, and then you have to jog a mile back, and you're going down an uphill. So it was pretty rough, but I mean, it is what it is, because you're running in uniform and boots, you're not running your PT gear. So I didn't stay the whole Beast Week because I ended up a little gross, but I ended up getting athlete's foot. If you guys don't know what athlete's foot is, it's pretty much just a bunch of cracking in your skin, and it itches, it burns, and it hurts a lot, and mine actually ended up getting infected. So instead of staying there and letting it get more infected and just hurt even more, and possibly have to cut off my damn toes, because who knows, I ended up leaving, and I ended up getting told to stay at my dorms, and I didn't finish Beast Week. I ended up having to go back to shoot though with a different flight later in my 7th week. During Beast Week, I think like the most fun that I had was you pretty much like stand behind this yellow line and then they throw you a rope and you have to grab onto the rope and swing across a pool. The pool is so disgusting. It is very dirty. It was green and brown, which is just horrible. But most of the girls, I'm pretty sure only like 2 to 3 girls out of my entire flight, which was 50 girls, only 3 made it across. The rest fell in. I purposely fell in because I wanted that sand off of me. Like, I didn't even care at that point. It was disgusting, but I just like wanted to get in. It was super hot and the water wasn't warm, it was cold, so it just felt awesome. So if you really want, just go ahead and jump in the pool. You're not gonna get any repercussions for it. It's just pretty much like, oh, if you hang on the rope and you get across, congratulations. Like, you don't get anything, and you don't get yelled at if you don't make it across. So that was probably the best part. You honestly only get I think it was only like maybe like a minute per person, not even to get in the showers and get out. Most girls, I'm pretty sure 90% of the girls ended up doing cornrows, so they didn't have to wash their hair the whole week, because you have to get in and get out, and the showers had no pressure at all. It was horrible. So you pretty much had to wash your body and like scrub yourself off. And I'm not like I'm not saying scrub the soap on, I'm talking like scrub the soap off, because it had no like pressure or anything. So there was a lot of bugs in there. A lot of bugs, huge bugs. I'm talking like, like this big of bugs, and just spiders everywhere, and it was just, is what it is. But didn't bother me too much, because I was more worried about like getting in and getting out before you get like in trouble or anything. We had more time only because we had fewer showers that worked in the bathrooms. So that was Beast Week for me. Other girls, YouTube videos probably have more about Beast Week, but unfortunately I can't say too much about it because I didn't finish it. But the obstacles were really fun, of just like going over poles and bear crawling up, or like going on your elbows, army crawling up, this like huge mulch filled thing. Don't even know what it's called, but yeah. It was really fun for the time being, and shooting was like the best part. The next week is 6th week, and sorry if I'm like a little rusty because I've been out for over a year. I went to boot camp June 12th of 2018, and I graduated August 3rd of 2018. So it's been a minute for me, and I'm like still trying to like think of things that we did. So 6th week, I feel like we didn't do anything except just classroom time and then just eating. Like I said, you get 3 meals a day, and I think it's awesome that you get like a granola bar at the at dinner. Like, you pretty much, they give you a granola bar. It's chocolate. It's really good, and definitely eat it, because like everyone's just gonna be hungry. You can eat as much as you want, as little as you want, but most girls do gain weight in boot camp just because they eat a lot of the rolls, because who doesn't love rolls? They taste so good. But yeah, a lot of girls do gain weight when they're in boot camp just from eating so much. Yes, you're doing PT every single day, but it just all depends on what you eat. It's like 80% diet, 20% working out. So it's just the way it works. So that granola bar like saved most people's lives, and most of the girls didn't want it. So I know I ended up eating 2, and sometimes the lunch, I would just call them lunch ladies that are down there, they would actually sometimes give us 2, just to be nice, especially if like I just like joked about it purposely to see if she would get me 2. She ended up giving us 2, so I thought that was really cool. That was just like an emotional time for probably like everyone, just because like I said, we're all getting to see our families soon, and we were just so over being there, and it was just kind of hard on all of us, and most people's families didn't stay the whole time, and they knew that, so that was like kind of hitting them and everything. But That was just the 7th week. Like I said, just classroom time, getting your 15-minute phone call. Actually, what I did miss is your 6th week, you get base liberty. Base liberty pretty much means that you could go anywhere on base, I think. No, I think they had a few restrictions before you could go. But you could pretty much go to most places on base, including the BX. You could buy any food that you want, as long as you pretty much had the money for it. I remember I ate like 2 slices of pizza, had some like Reese's and stuff like that. I didn't eat too much, only because I knew for the fact it would probably hit me the next day, and I would feel so sick because my body isn't used to eating that junk food. Because you don't get I think did we get pizza once? I think we had pizza once, and you get French toast every other day. It's like pancakes, French toast, stuff like that. French toast is amazing, so get French toast. But I'm pretty sure we had pizza like once, but it was like the little oven like type pizzas. I mostly had tortellini and pasta the whole time. Super good. And I had like chicken and peanut butter sandwiches. Peanut butter and jelly was just like my definite thing when I was in there too. I think I lost a couple pounds, but most of the time I just like maintained because of the peanut butter and jelly and tortellini and stuff. But anyway, so you do get base liberty and pretty much just get to spend whatever you want. You can't buy certain things as well. So when you get in there, you can't buy certain things because they, at least for us, they never ended up doing a security drawer check. But you do get a security drawer check at the 7th week, so you can't hide any snacks in there. Like, you can't hide certain things. Like, it's very hard to hide things. But for us, we never got it, so we could have hid things, but we just, weren't that dumb. So as when you get base liberty is week 6. So you also get to use the payphones that are there too. So if you have any quarters, you can call your family, but you're just going to spend hours in line because everyone wants to talk to their family for however long they want, no matter who's in the back of their like who's in their line. So 4th week is where you get your patio break. Your patio break, like I said, was the vending machines. You can get whatever you want. Same thing. I think I got like 1 bag of chips, Pop-Tarts that were completely melted for how hot it was. So that was just horrible. And I think I got like 1 piece of candy. And I just pretty much like wrote letters and everything and to my family, because you're able to do that. You could do that every night. And it didn't hit me too much in the morning, but it hit most girls in the morning because they just ate so much junk food and you had PT the next day. So be very aware of what you're eating, trust me. About the letters, you do get to write letters every night, but they will take it away from you. And especially if you don't, get showers in time, if your MTI doesn't, they have to leave. If it's the opposite gender, they have to leave a half hour before you go to bed. So you have time to shower and get into bed before CQ, which is just charge quarters, comes on telling you have to go to bed, because they turn on all the intercoms and they can hear everything that you're doing. You could whisper to each other and they'll just come on the intercom and just be like, shut up, be quiet, go to bed. So you have to be in bed by 9 o'clock and be quiet. You can't, use your flashlight to write notes or anything because they could see that through the windows. They walk around and everything. So you can't do that. You can't really be sneaky about things. But, if you do everything in an orderly fashion and you earn it and everything, you can write letters. Sundays are pretty chill because you get to go to church. You get to do whatever your religious thing is. You get to do that. Or you could stay back. You could do laundry. You can do whatever duties that you want to do. Most people, once you get there, you are assigned certain duties, which are like road guards. Pretty much road guards are where you have 2 in the back, 2 in the front. The 2 in the front, once they say like road guards out, that's where the MTI goes in the middle of the road. They stop traffic, road guards out. Pretty much they go like the opposite sides and they just hold their hand up telling them to stop. I've done that I think a couple times. And the people from the back come up, tap them out, do the same thing until the flight is completely across the road. Then they say road guards in, and then you're just in. And then you're back in flight formation. So Honestly, volunteer as much as possible. I didn't volunteer as much as I should have. I definitely got called out for that, but I honestly felt like there were so many people, and that just kind of what made me mad was that, like, they called me out saying that I didn't volunteer for much when honestly there were so many people that I could pick out that didn't do anything. So that just really made me mad. But one girl, she had my back, and then she was like, really, because so and this other person, this person did absolutely nothing the whole time, so like, why are you gonna call her out? So I did go to MEPS with her, so shout out to her. I love her. And definitely volunteer for things. You pretty much like can feel the waters when you're going into breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I forget, I think it's like, I forget what it is, but it's like water duty, whatever it is. Laundry duty, pretty much just bring everyone's laundry down. You sit in the laundry room. You cannot write letters or anything. You could just pretty much write notes, study, do whatever. You can't talk to the guys, because MTIs do come in and out of that place. And if you are caught writing letters, doing something you're not supposed to, talking to the opposite gender, you will get in trouble. Very much in trouble. So you're pretty much just sitting, doing laundry, studying, doing whatever. Sometimes you can slip here and there and talk to them. Like, that's just inevitable if you're just, sitting with them. So, and sitting there doing nothing. But most of the time I just studied. And we would just like talk about like where each other are from. You cannot get the opposite gender's phone number. You will get in trouble if you're caught doing that. So I would definitely be careful talking to the opposite gender in general. You do have a brother flight. The brother flight will stay at the bottom. At least for us, it was the floor below us. We only had 2 floors. It was the floor below us, or maybe the floor above, whatever, how it ends up working. But most of the time, well, the whole time, our brother flight was at the bottom of us. So, a lot of I think 3 of the people who I went to MEPS with ended up being in my brother flight. Not everyone who you go to MEPS with is going to be in your sister, or is going to be in your sister flight, cousin flight, brother flight, or, your own flight. Like I said, the one girl I did go to MEPS with ended up being in my flight. So I loved her. She was awesome. As I was saying, definitely volunteer for stuff. Help out your flight. Especially on Sundays when everyone is going to church, doing whatever what they do at home for religious reasons. Help them out, because there's at least 1 or 2 people who are just doing like laundry the entire time. And trust me, doing laundry it wasn't horrible. It was really nice and everything, because you just got to sit there and just, kind of wash the laundry. But the bags are extremely heavy, so like you need help. And sometimes the brother flight will help you out. They can't go to the door, but they were able to, help you lift it up the stairs if they happen to be there too. They do have cameras in there too. You have to touch the railing at all times, step on every step. You can't skip steps going up, skip steps going down. They literally will watch you. I can't speak English. And they will see everything that you're doing. So I highly suggest just pretty much watching your back. You will be assigned like your duties and everything when you first get there. Pretty sure it was the next day. So day 2 of being there, pretty much. You will be assigned of what you're doing. Pay attention, like everything. They repeat this so many times when you're in there. Attention to detail. Pay attention. If you do not pay attention, you will not make it through, because they will nitpick every single thing that there is possible. Like hospital corners of how to make your bed, everything has to be very specific, which is why I say be attention to detail, because they will rip everything apart, especially when they go and do inspections and stuff like that. It's very much attention to detail. Speaking of inspections, you have, I'm pretty sure, 3 inspections, which is like your beds and stuff like that. And you also have your locker inspection, which is pretty much when you get your blues and you already have your uniforms in there and everything. So you have to make sure like all the hangers are equally apart. Everything is flush with this and flush with that, and it's so specific. But you will get a binder that's already in the locker, set and ready for you to read, so you know how to fold things, because things had to be folded a certain way, and how to be placed in your locker as well. Your security drawer has to be a certain way. Like I said, we never had a security drawer check except when we first got there. I'm pretty sure like day 2 or 3, and they just like pretty much dump it on your bed and you just have to put it back after that. But everything has to be super specific. Like I said, you'll have a binder that will explain where things go and how to fold it. And the MTIs, they will like make you gather around a bed, and they will also show you as well, like a couple, like maybe like 3 times, just so you understand how to do it and where to put it, etc. So everything honestly is just a given, and they will show you and tell you what to do, but you have to listen and pay attention. And if you don't, then like I said, you're just not going to make it through. As long as you listen, you're going to be completely fine. So like there's absolutely nothing to stress about. That was pretty much like the whole boot camp experience for me. Like I said, super easy, because our MTIs ended up being we ended up being their first female flight, so it ended up being really easy. They weren't hard on us. We did struggle a lot just because we weren't really trying. I say most people were people, you know, who showed it, they were. Other people who didn't show it, who said they weren't trying. But pretty much just like I said, pay attention to detail, do what you're told, or you're going to be voluntold. You're like volunteer for things too. If one person has this appointment, maybe a doctor's appointment, or has to go to UCC, have to do something, fill in for them. You know, be a good flight. Try the best as you can, because, you know, in the long run, you're going to look good, and it's just going to make, you know, your MTI super happy, and you will get privileges. You could get another patio privilege, you could get another base liberty privilege. Everything is honestly a privilege. Speaking of the patio break and the base liberty, in the book they say that they can take that away. That they can't take that away, but they honestly can. It is a privilege. It is given to you, but you have to earn it still. Like if you're not, you know, if you're still struggling and not doing what you're supposed to do, and you're just horrible, then you're not going to get it. It's given to you up front, but you still have to earn actually doing it when it gets to that point. So it's all about just earning things, being a good flight, doing the best you can, and just make sure that you pay attention and do what you're told. Just those are like the main points and the key things to just that you will definitely get through it. It's not hard. I honestly expected so much worse. I expected screaming in my face, being, you know, cursed at and stuff like that. In the Air Force, they can't even get within a foot of you, like in your face. So now you're going to be fine. They can't curse you anymore. So at least, yet again, this is just the Air Force. Army is different. Marines are definitely different. So, but Air Force is definitely the easiest thing ever. So if you're going in the Air Force, trust me, you're going to be totally fine. Don't overthink it. Don't stress about it. Like, you're going to be 100% fine. Now, since I realized how long of a video this was, I'm just going to keep this to the bootcamp experience and essentials that you need. My tech school experience, like I said, I did not finish that, but I'm still going to make that a separate video because I did finish a good portion of it. So I'm going to make that a completely different video. But if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button and comment down below what you think, and still comment down below of a bunch of other ideas, has anything to do with the military, like if you want to do a Q&A of my personal life, or anything else you want to hear about the military. Just go ahead and let me know. Click subscribe, and also turn on those post notifications, because since it's Vlogmas, I'm going to be posting every single day. So I'll see you guys next time.